Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Weekly. Brandon Vickery with you. I'm glad to be joined via Zoom by the head coach of the Valpo basketball program, Matt Laddick. Valpo Basketball Weekly is brought to you by our friends at Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. Let's look back at this week, and let's start with Wednesday. Yet another game that came down to the wire. The series with Illinois State has had quite the number of games that have come right down to the wire. What do you see as ultimately the difference on Wednesday at Illinois State?
Well, I thought, honestly, we got a little bit tired at the end of that game. I thought our execution the last couple minutes, and give them credit, they turned up the pressure, but execution wasn't great. We played, pretty hard and pretty well for the entirety of the game, but those last 4 minutes, just didn't finish. And I mean, they had a young man having great individual performance. I mean, their offense at the end of the game consisted of really just giving him the ball at the top of the key, having him isolate and make plays. And he did a fantastic job of that. There's a reason why he's one of the leading scorers in the country. So we got to do a better job finishing. But on the road, it's tough. They have been very good on their home floor. I think it's pretty evidenced by their record and in their close games. But and it's hard. I mean, it's hard to win games in this league. It's really hard to win them on the road. And, we let one slip away.
6 overtime games this season, tied for the most in the nation. Nearly half your games have been decided by 4 points or fewer or gone to overtime. So what's it been like to be involved in so many close games this year?
I mean, it's not easy. It's fun, though. I do think it builds character and builds character as a player, builds character as a person. And I know our young men have had a lot of fun competing in games like that. And I mean, that's just what this league is. There's just a ton of parity in this league. I think, there's been some, the top 5 teams in the league, they're separating themselves from the other 5, but that doesn't mean any on the bottom 5 can't beat any on the top 5. And I think that's been evident as well. So, our goals remain the same. We still want to try to get better every day. We want to try to continue to get healthy, get our team back, continue to build some momentum and really have a good showing in March. And so that's the goal for us right now, and looking forward to it.
Let's talk about Sunday's game a little bit in the game, or Saturday's game, I should say, against Missouri State. Road game, tough opponent. Maybe break things down on the offensive end. What'd you see on the defensive end? What'd you see in that one?
Well, I thought first and foremost, our guys did a good job of executing our game plan. I mean, I really do. We were able to get Ben and Tom, and Kev and Kobe. We were able to give them the ball in pretty good spots, and they were able to be effective. They put a ton of fouls on guys. We were magnificent from the foul line. I thought we really controlled the paint. And then defensively, I mean, we really wanted to try to make Mosley's catches tough. We did. We wanted to force him to his left hand. We did. And limited to 11 shots. The problem is he hit 8 of them, and a lot of them were just fadeaways and tough shots. And it was, look, he is a very talented scorer. Our emphasis was to try to make things difficult for him. We wanted to sag off maybe some of the other guys that were more non-shooters, give big help. And we did a good job of it. They just had guys that rose up and with high contests and nailed a bunch of shots. And, sometimes you just tip your hat to a team. Again, I do think we execute our game plan. I mean, you look at it, we had 6 turnovers offensively. And most of the shots that they shot were highly, highly contested. They just made a lot of them. And, they've been together there for a long time. And they got a lot of talent, and they're really tough to beat on their home floor. So they're a good team. They really are a very good team. And I thought we played okay. They were just really good that night.
It was nice to see Thomas Kithy back in the lineup. Yeah. What's it like to have him back, and kind of how are you integrating him back in as he comes off the back injury?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, right? Tom's one of those, smart players that he doesn't lose a lot when he's not competing, from like just understanding what you're trying to do. He's been mentally engaged every single day. Hasn't physically been on the court, right? So conditioning is a little bit of an issue. We were mindful of it. And then, we go into a game where he's going to play the most physical big in our league. So pounding that back, we started Ben on Prim. Knew Tom would have to guard him a little bit, but we were trying to protect him a little bit in that regard. Feeling okay. He took a really scary fall in that first half. And, when he went down, everyone, I think, in our program or follows us probably held their breath for a little bit, and he kind of, gave the thumbs up. And so that was encouraging because I think anytime you're dealing with injury, it's that first real contact where you're kind of unsure, and then you have it and you're like, oh, okay, I'm okay. So looking forward to getting his conditioning back up a little bit. And but again, he is a huge piece of what we're trying to do, and we all know that, and he knows that. And again, you get him healthy, now I can continue to build.
Let's look ahead. You took Loyola to double overtime at their place. How do you replicate that on Wednesday and then get over the hump and close out the win this time?
Well, they're playing great. You look at what they did to Northern Iowa this last week. I mean, they hit 10 threes in the first half. I think they missed at one point there in the second half. I think they missed 6 shots from 2 or 7 shots from 2, and like 5 shots from 3 in the second half. I mean, they scored 85 points and had 1 foul shot. I mean, that's just it's a highly efficient offensive group. And so we're going to have to defend. We're going to have to really protect our paint. We're going to have to fan out on their shooters and make them hit high contests. And then when they guard you, I mean, they're very physical. They're very veteran. They don't break down easy. So we're going to have to set good screens. We're going to have to get the ball to our guys in good spots. And we're going to have to shoot the ball well. And so we understand the challenge that's in front of us. Again, we competed really hard against them last time. We expect a duplicate effort, and there's a reason that people are predicting there to be an at-large team right now. It's because they put in the work, and they've won a lot of games that they need to win. So again, it's going to be a challenge for us. We're excited for it though, and I know we got a motivated group.
Chance for fans to come out and see Valpo take on a really good opponent on Wednesday night. The game begins at 7 p.m. It's televised on the MVC TV network. But for ticket information to come on out, valpoathletics.com/tickets. This has been Valpo Basketball Weekly, and it's brought to you by our friends at Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.